And so this entering into what I'll sometimes refer to as an internal holding environment, involves a way of attuning to a natural centering in the psyche, deep in the soul, where that we can explore as a formal practice, or also informally during the day in micro moments, a few seconds or minutes when we can pause through the day and we can shift our center of gravity into the aliveness of the body and also into the natural grounding presence of the earth. A few moments when we can interrupt that momentum of that trance-like state that we can all fall into from time to time when we find ourselves on autopilot. Do you know what I mean? An experience which in many ways is synchronized with the current state of our world, a collective sort of disembodiment and a subtle sort of dissociation, where we lose contact with the immediacy of the here and now, what we're feeling, intuitive ways of knowing, healing images, synchronicities, right brain flow states, various states of unity and union, which are arising and passing in all of us through the day. So the interrupting of that collective trance is really one of the essence activities of the alchemist, which is you, by the way, and me and us together. We are the alchemists here, where we open the door to that inner laboratory, where for just a few moments we find ourselves in the mystery, in the unknown, which does in many ways sort of feel like we're moving against the grain of the cultural and the collective status quo, that movement upstream. I mean, it's not easy. It's countercultural. It's counterinstinctual, perhaps in some way revolutionary, which is, of course, what the ancient alchemists were also doing. They were attempting to bring back in and reveal something which had become lost in their world, in their time. A curious, sensual, loving connection with matter, with the body, with the wisdom of the feminine principle, who for them was personified in Sophia, who perhaps is nearer than we might imagine. And maybe in our own way, we're being called to compensate for that collective trance of our own time, in ways we may or may not be consciously aware of, to be a vehicle or a vessel for what we might describe in more contemporary neuroscientific language anyway as emerging right brain ways of knowing and perceiving and being.